So happy almost Lunar New Year, the year of the fire horse. We are feeling, I bet, the last 2 weeks, the final shedding of the snake so we can blossom into the next iteration of what we are becoming. We are ending a year in 9, so completions, and we're starting the year 2026 in a year of the 1, so new beginnings. And I urge you, I invite you to just take some time to reflect on how that's showing up in your life. Are there things that are kind of coming to an end, whether it be a relationship, a career, a way of doing something? And is there something new beginning? I know in our home, my husband is ending something he began in the year of the 1, 9 years ago, and starting something new. And it wasn't as if we sat down and said, oh, it's the year of the 9, what are we ending? It's the year of the 1, what are we beginning? It just actually just happens, right? Like, we live in this beautiful synchronistic world, and we think we're outside of cause and effect of universal laws and rhythms, but really we're all so deeply intertwined. And these things just happen. I love looking back. Like, hindsight's always 2020, right? So I love looking back and saying, okay, like, this is what was coming up for me this last week. And then I go, what was the astrology like? And then I look at the astrology and I'm like, oh, isn't that neat how that all sort of lined up? And that way I don't feel that I'm consciously forcing or influencing myself because of the astrology, but I see how I worked with the astrology, especially when we work deep within our own intuition and our impulses and urges, not necessarily our like primordial instincts of like fear and safety, but just those things that came from the heart and was like, do this, go here, be there, talk about this. And even if it's like, this isn't logical, this doesn't make sense, why am I being asked to do this? And that happens for me a lot. And now I'm recognizing that I'm being urged to do things because we're all part of a divine plan. Do you know, when we ask for symbols or signs, if something's right for you, like, show me a sign that this career change is right for me, and say, like, I want to hear this, X, that, whatever. It could be an animal, it could be a song. But then all of a sudden, you'll hear a conversation from somebody that's referencing the thing you asked for. So if I was saying that conversation was me having that conversation with somebody and you walked by, you heard that conversation. But if I wasn't following my impulses to be in that spot, to talk about that topic with that person I was in front of, you might not have heard it, right? Does that make sense? So anyway, trust in your divine part, whether it makes sense or not. And then it's always fun to look back and see how that all kind of worked out, if that's something you're interested in. And if not, your life is just fine as it is right now. So I sat down a few weeks ago and channeled the energies for 2026, specifically for the year of the fire horse. So not like Julian calendar, January to December, but lunar calendar. And so we know that February 17th is going to be a really big day. We've got the new moon, so the new year starts. We have a solar eclipse. I believe there's a bunch of planets going into like incredible conjunctions that haven't been seen or recorded in history. Not that they've never happened before, it's just not in our recorded history. So we don't know what's going to happen, but there's a few in Aries. And so Aries is the first sign, right? Like, we're in Aries. And that will be Aries energy coming in on Feb 17th. And so it's new beginnings, right? So it's going to be incredible. So I try to keep my channel as clear as possible by not listening to a lot of different content. but rather feeling into what those energies are invoking within me. So this comes from my heart, channeled from my higher self to you. Please use your discernment when you're listening to this, because some things might not resonate. It will come from my unique perspective with my unique words in a way that is resonant with me and felt resonance within my body. And that's why there's so many channelers, right? Because we're all saying it. We're all channeling information from the infinite source of oneness, but it's coming through in a unique way that is through us for our unique fractal line that needs to hear it from us. So you are also part of that. So you have a unique voice with unique things to say in a unique way that no one else can replicate. So never discount the role and play, the part that you play in all of humanity. So never try to think like I'm less than somebody else. I think that's a program that runs in the back of our minds a lot. I'm just crazy enough to show up online and do this and let it ride. So what will follow is just a voice recording, because this was done in my pajamas in the middle of the night, probably, is usually when I get a lot of my information. And I would love to maybe hear any comments you'd like to share, how it resonated with you, what things are coming up for you for 2026, for the year of the fire horse itself. Any new beginnings, endings that you'd like to share about. Victories, wins, funny stories, anything like that. I'm always looking in the comments to see how you're all doing. So I'll catch you on the other side.
With 2026 being the year of the fire horse, I keep getting in my mind the Chariot from the tarot. And the Chariot driver is guiding two horses, a black one and a white one. And in shadow, there is impulsiveness, there's lack of direction, indecisiveness. I see chaos, one pulling one way, one pulling the other, stagnation. And so I think 2026 is going to be a very challenging year for people who struggle with decision making, standing up for what they believe in, taking decisive action. It means we can't sit on the fence post in middle ground anymore. We need to make a choice. And it's going to mean cutting things loose. Maybe you're cutting loose one of those horses, but in its highest exalted expression, you're taking both of those horses and you're creating them as a unified team going into a single, clarified, focused direction. And you're running through the fire. You're not letting the fire deter you. You are not being swayed by what looks like immediate chaos that needs attention, right? We are letting those fires burn and we are continuing on. And fires burning can sometimes mean burning away the old. And that stuff isn't going to always go away quietly. So there's going to be a burning period this year. We are going to feel like we are on fire. And we're going to feel like we can't take it anymore. But we are being forged. This year is a year of forging. Forging strengthens metal. You are getting strengthened. You're getting strengthened in your resolve, in your focus on your authentic heart's desires. You are cutting away the crap that no longer serves. Fire doesn't go away quietly, right? It can go out with a bang. The things that are burning away don't want to burn away. They are struggling for their existence. They are trying to take their last gasps of fresh oxygen before they are engulfed by the flames. That means this is the year where we are going to see that epic toddler tantrum. When you have a kid and they let out that final freak out before they just completely lay down in exhaustion and release. That's what's going to happen to all the old things that are still struggling to stay in your life, to stay in society. There will be this final battle there's going to be peaks and epitomes of fear where we think everything is going to implode in on us. That we are going to be engulfed by things that we don't want. But if we rein our horses, we keep clear and directed and focused, and we do not succumb to the chaos and the noise of other people trying to pull our attention from our goals, our authentic, heart-driven, heart-centered, highest self goals, we will succeed. We will cross that finish line. We will reach that summit. And we will look back at the rubble, the smoldering smoke, in complete and utter awe, and be like, holy bajoli, I did that. I did it. That means things are going to burn, though. There's going to be casualties, and nothing is personal. It just no longer serves you. Bless everything and everyone on your path who is only making you more directed, more stronger, more focused on what is in your highest, best good and interest, that only you can know that. No one else can. No one can tell you. No one can direct you. You're in charge. You're the driver. You're in charge of these wild horses that you have to get working together. Think of it even as getting your left and your right brain working together, your heart and your brain working together in unison. One is no longer the driver. One is no longer more dominant than the other. You are taking both of them. You are harnessing the best out of both of them. You're bringing out the best in both of them. You're getting them to work together. And it's no easy task. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's going to be relearning. It's going to be creating new habits. Going to mean devotion and dedication to the path, to your path. It's going to mean shutting off the noise. It's going to mean turning down social media, turning down social invitations, turning down opportunities that don't fit your version of success. It might look successful from the outside and external mainstream societal norms, but it won't fit your version. And it's okay to say no to that. You're going to experience fear and uncertainty. You're going to have moments of feeling completely ungrounded, uncertain, and that is good. But you need to know that you are anchored still within the greater plan for your highest self and your path. And you need to trust it. You need to learn how to trust your intuitive signals, how they sound, what they feel like in your body, because that will strengthen your conviction in your choices. So when I think of 2026, it's going to be an amusement park ride. It's going to be one heck of a ride. It is going to be exhilarating. It's going to be scary. It's going to just be, you might throw up, right? It's going to be tumultuous, but it's going to be glorious. It's like that final battle royale. You know, it's like level 3 and you're beating the boss before you can move up to the next level. That's what's happening in 2026. So we really need to take time to anchor into ourselves, clear our minds, hear what we're trying to be told by our guides, our higher selves, our deeper knowing. We need to write it down. We need to journal about it. We need to get clear on it. We need to focus on it. We need to have this somewhere that we can see daily, that we can remember every morning when we come back into our physical bodies after sleep. We need to have that clarity and that focus and that direction. And it doesn't mean the route we take to get to the end point doesn't change. And we make those along the path. But we have that set point of where we're going, how we want to feel, how we envision our life being, but not being attached to the outcome, but knowing that there will be a certain embodiment and feeling that you will have when you attain it, and then being that now. And so more of that can come in. So I honor you and your paths. And if it's different than mine, it's all wonderful. And I'd love to know how this landed for you. I really want you to take a moment to sit in that energy. Feel free to go look at what astrologers are saying, human design, Gene Keys are saying about 2026, the Chinese astrological calendar, and see how that resonates with you. But know that 2026 will be a big year. And big can mean tough, it can mean exhilarating, exalted, it can mean shadow clearing, releasing all of that, those things that can't come in. But this year is going to be fire. So be prepared. We're always thinking like, oh, it's January, it's a new year, clean slate. Whew, like I can coast for a little bit. And it's like, nope, be prepared. It's going to be fire. Things are happening in the world. Things are going to start to come to an apex, to a coalescent point, and big decisions are going to have to be made. And if we can't have a regulated nervous system, clarity of mind, focus, direction, we're going to maybe make some not so good choices, I guess, choices that aren't in our highest interest. But that's okay. We take the bounce, we learn, and we try again. But if we can be really clear on who we are, what we're about, what we're for, and then really just embodying that without pushing against anybody else's path, and just see their paths as more clarity for your path, right? Especially if they're different. I always find when we get really good, clear sense of what we don't want, it's really easy to direct myself to what I do want. And you're like, oh, I don't want that. Okay, well then what do I want? And oh, great. Okay, great. I'm going to focus on what I want. So yes, 2026, be prepared. Practices for your nervous system regulation, practices for self-awareness, and practices for connecting into your higher self. You're going to need something to ground yourself so you can expand into a higher consciousness connection, see things from 10,000 feet, and not getting lost in boots on the ground battle, I suppose. I would love to know how this lands for you, what your thoughts are, what your feelings about 2026 are, what's coming up for you. And so as always, thank you for your time. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments.